Hi, could you quickly present yourself?
Hi, my name is Wouter Klaarhout. The last 21 years worked for a company called DSM, Nutrition Products. It's a Dutch-based multinational, and I've spent 10 years abroad, 6 years in Switzerland and 4 years in Singapore. We came back middle of 2014 to Belgium.
Okay, how did you live there? How was your house?
So maybe I'll talk about Singapore, the last 4 years of our expatriation. Singapore is a very expensive place to live. Fortunately, the company provided for the house. We always chose to go into a house because of the family. We have 2 kids. And in hindsight, we might have done it differently because we had some issues with the house in Singapore. It was very expensive. Although the company paid for it, you have to think about 12,000 Singapore dollars per month for the rental fee. But also a house comes with a lot more costs. For example, the air conditioning costs in Singapore, which is a very hot place, was quite high. So the living costs were quite high in Singapore. Our electricity bill was easily $600 a month, Singapore dollars a month. So, yeah.
Okay, was it safe to go out at night or to
Yeah,
drink?
very. Singapore is a very well controlled society. They watch every move you make, and they are very strict on punishing if you step out of the line. So for people living there, it's extremely safe. So as a lady, you can walk on the streets middle of the night alone. Nothing will happen to you, because if they do have an offense, they will come down on it with police, and they will punish very hard. A good example is drugs. So if you get caught dealing drugs, you are not only arrested, you will be executed in Singapore. If you drop a piece of paper on the street, you will get a fine of a few $100s. So that's why they call Singapore sometimes a fine city, with a double meaning of the word fine.
Okay, how did you experience working abroad?
For me, it was a great experience. What I really like is the fact that you have to adapt to a complete new setting, culture. You meet new people, new ways of working and doing things. And the fact that when you work abroad, especially like in Singapore, you not only see a lot of different cultures from a business point of view, but you can also then take the family to different countries in that part of the world for short trips, which is also very, very interesting.
Okay, was it hard to adapt in Singapore?
The hardest, I would say, was to begin with, was the climate. So you have to imagine they don't have seasons. It's always between 29 and 33, 34 degrees hot. Plus, it's not only the heat; it's also the humidity. So it's easily 90 to 95% humidity. So showering 3-4 times a day in the beginning is not abnormal, and you sweat so much. So it's that's quite a shock to adapt to. But after about 6 months, and everybody also told us this, and it's true, after about 6 months something in your body changes, and you suddenly can cope better with the heat. So yeah, that was one of the shocks. The other thing that was a bit surprising or shocking was the fact that they are very well controlled as a society. They're also completely anti-corruption. But as a consequence, everybody in the society is very strict in following the rules. And we notice that people are often not empowered anymore to think with their own common sense when, for example, a rule may not be completely making sense in a certain context. It's okay to bend the rule or make an exception, we would think. They would never think that way. So they will always stay within the rules, because for them, not following rules could be perceived as being corrupt. And because they have such strict anti-corruption laws, they will hardly ever deviate from the rules. So that was a bit of a shock. People are very inflexible because of that.
Okay. What was the biggest culture shock in Singapore?
I would say that not deviating of the rules ever was a culture shock. And so what we then realized was sometimes it was so silly and we wanted to push through our request that we realized that the only way to get it done was to become very angry, which is not who we are. We are typically very friendly people, but the other aspect, cultural aspect in Singapore is people do not like anything that disturbs harmony. So when you become very agitated and very angry, even if it's a play, which it sometimes was for us, they then suddenly become very frightened and they back down. And sometimes that was the only way to get them to do stuff which we thought was just a no-brainer, but for them it was apparently very, very difficult because it was not within the rules.
Okay, and last question, would you do it again?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. It was a great experience also for the family, and it is really enriching experience, and I would definitely do it again.
Okay, thank you for the interview.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.